Good morning, Team EXOS, Team Adidas. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Hope you guys have had some coffee or breakfast or some water. We have a pretty good session today. A lot of good things planned. If you just joined me for that morning mobility, you might feel a little bit better, but you just want some more. I am your guy. So for today, you're going to need a couple things. You're actually going to need a pillow, or if you have it, a kettlebell. And also, we're going to need a towel. We're going to be doing some hamstring work, some pike action with that floor. If you don't have a floor that you can slide on, I will show you alternatives, no big deal. And beyond that, just some space and water. This is a 30-minute workout. We will be doing water breaks. If you have a radio or some music that you'd like to listen to, that is definitely encouraged. Other than that, that's about it. And also, I was mentioning with the earlier class, if you have any requests, we always love to hear back from you. But if not, no big deal. Always grateful to be able to move with you, be able to coach you through some ranges and movements, and yeah, just excited to get started this morning. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take that space wherever it might be. Hopefully you have a pillow and towel by now. With the towel, I have a little bit longer one. Doesn't have to be this long. It could be, just a face towel, whatever you got. Just something you can slide with and you can stick both feet on. Let's go ahead and take a space where you can lunge or wherever that may be. I just want you to cross your arms, okay, over your chest, touching opposite shoulders. Okay, and then from there, you're just going to make tiny circles. And all I want you to do is just go for threes. So 3 tiny circles. You can start clockwise or counterclockwise, and then switch it the other way. Notice how my lower half is just staying completely still. I'm really just trying to rotate that spine. Once I finish 3 one way, you're going to take it a little bigger. Okay, 3 the other way. Majority of the time, if I start the session in the morning, it's the first thing I do. I like to start off slower and spend a little bit more time on that prep. So that is what we'll do this morning. Now you're going to take a big step back with one leg, get into a split stance. I want that knee to come down just slightly so you have a nice base. Make sure if somebody was to come by and nudge you, you still could keep your balance. So you want to lock that lower half in, drive the arms overhead, and then you're just going to rock side to side, trying to open up those obliques. Make sure those arms continue to drive overhead. And again, we're just going to rock 3 and 3. So 6 total. Now, it doesn't have to be that intense with the rock. It can be a little bit easier. I just want you to get some extension out of those shoulders and obliques. Make sure you switch once you get 3 and 3. And then we're just going to go back to that split stance where we started. So the leg that you started with, in this instance, my left. Okay, all I'm going to do is drive over that knee and rotate. So drive forward and rotate and try to twist over that knee. Again, I'm going to do, let's go 3 each side and then switch. All right, 3 each side and then switch. Over that knee. You can see here, I'll give you another angle. Trying to drive that hip into that knee and then rotate, get nice and long. 3 and 3. Beautiful. So now we're a little bit looser in the trunk, a little looser in the obliques, shoulders, legs. Now it's time to get those glutes and hips. Let's start in that single leg position or one leg position in that base. You're going to give me a nice Balanced position, that means my toe, my knee, and my nose, if I drew a straight line down, they would all be in one line. Okay, so you really want to lock that in. And then I just want you to reach across and step to the other foot. Give me a nice 1 to 2 second hold, and then right on back. Again, we're going to keep this 3 theme, really just trying to create some balance. 4, I got 2 more. I want to sneeze here. Last one. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. Now that we're a little bit more heated up in those glute area, we're going to start with the hinge. Okay. So with the hinge, soft knees, draw those hips straight back, reach for your big toe. So big reach to your big toe. Once you get that big toe, wrap those fingers underneath. You're just going to pull yourself underneath. Okay, get to this nice bottom position of the squat. Draw your knees out. Okay, and then work your hands down back to the ground. Hips can come up, and then you're just going to stand up. Okay, we're going to actually do this for 5. We're going to spend some time here. So, hinge back, reach for big toe. Really drive those knees out. Reach forward, hips up, back to a standing position. We're going to do this for 3 more reps. Okay, go forward. Just keep working that squat range. You're going to see why once we start the session. Perfect. Very nice. Now, we're going to add a little bit of shoulder range here. So your difficulty is going to increase. Now you're going to get to that squat position without hinging. So you're just going to squat straight down. Okay? And then from there, I want you to drive up, get into this overhead position, and then stand. Okay? Drive up, get to that overhead position, and stand. So get to the bottom position without the arms. Drive up. You should feel that scap and back really pinch as you get to that bottom position, okay? If you don't have the range with your arms and shoulders, no big deal, okay? Just get to a position that best suits you and then stand, okay? We're gonna do this again for 5. 4. And 5. Very nice. Okay. Now, to continue that range, we are going to do a hand walk, okay? And then you're going to rotate when you get to that push-up or plank position at that end range and then walk back up. So, check it out. Big hand walk out. Okay, once you get to that push-up position, give me a nice rotation, right, left, and then walk back. Hand walk, right, left, and walk back. We're going to do that for 5. Don't fall when you come up. So out and back was 1 rep. We're going to do that for 5. And then relax once you've hit 5. Beautiful. Okay. Now, the last part, we always end with that neural activation. I'm going to leave this up to you. Remember, we want to drop to that bottom position as quickly as possible. And imagine that rug is being pulled out from underneath your feet. Okay, so we're going to catch ourselves as quick as possible. So I want you to start in that nice extended position, arms are up, and drop into base for 5 reps on your own. 5 reps on your own to 2 feet. That's all you're going to do. Don't worry about my go call. Just take this one on your own. Try to get to a position that's athletic and balanced. And let's do that for 5, okay? Really just trying to trigger that nervous system. Get yourself ready. Remember, getting to that bottom position as quick as possible. All right, last 2 movements here in this warm-up or movement preparation. We're gonna drop to one leg. It's gonna be 3 each side. You're gonna start on your balls of your feet, heels are up, drop to one side. And remember, we're trying to get to that bottom position in an aggressive manner, but we also want to be in the right position, balanced, stable before we reset. So 3 each side. Take this initiative on your own, okay? Go ahead and coach yourself. Drop whenever you feel like you're ready and comfortable to be able to balance. Really just working on loading into that hip, knee, and ankle. And then let's go ahead and take a water break. All right, so as I mentioned at the beginning of class, you are going to need a pillow. Doesn't have to be yellow. I know it fits my shirt, fits EXOS, but any kind of pillow will work. We're actually going to be doing some pull-throughs with the pillow. So let's go ahead and get that. So for this first block, it is not a timed event. All you're going to be doing is 4 reps. So first movement, we're going to be doing a forward plus reverse lunge, 5 forward, 5 reverse, 10 total. So it looks like so. Remember, notice how one of my legs is staying in place. Once I finish 5 and 5, I'm going to switch it up the other side and the other leg will stay in place. Let's go ahead and try that just so we can save time. Go ahead and jump on in with me. We're going to go 5 forward, 5 back. 10 total each side. If you want to, if you notice my hands are kind of matching my legs, you can try that. It adds a little bit of fluidity, a little bit of flow. It just feels a lot better. So 5 and 5 other side. Remember, try to get that knee nice and close to the ground without touching. Okay. Perfect. Once you finish 5 and 5, let's grab that pillow. So with the pillow, as I said, we're going to be doing pillow pull-throughs. So you're in that high push-up position, and we're going to be pulling that pillow across our body 10 times. With the pull through, if this is me laying on the ground, I'm pulling across, matching the hand, pulling across that body, okay? Really, we're looking for a lot of stability out of that exercise. Obviously, you spread the feet out. It's gonna be a lot easier to be stable in that low back is what we want. And if you put the hand right below your face, you're going to be able to be a lot more stiffer in that low back as well. So we don't want a lot of movement. Let's get into set number 2. Forward plus reverse. 5 and 5. Very nice. 5 and 5. Ten total each side. We're on set number 2. Let's go. Very nice. Good. 10 total. Grab that pillow. Let's rock. Spread those feet out as wide as you want. Drive that pillow, slide it across. Once you finish 10, back to a standing position, 10 each side. We have some lunges. So keep it up, keep moving. Try to take minimal rest, but if you need to take that break, no big deal. Perfect, switch it up. Ten total. Each side. Shake it out. Very nice. That pillow pull through. Big thing there. We just want to stay as stable as possible with the lower back. You'll notice your hips start to move side to side. It's very tough for me. So make sure that if you need to, spread those legs out into that big triangle, hand right below your face. It'll be a little easier, you'll be a little bit more stable. Very nice. Good job. 3 total sets. Once you finish, go ahead and take a water break. You're going to need that towel for this next set of movements. As I said at the beginning, doesn't have to be this long, can be a little longer. If you don't have a floor that slides, no big deal. I will add some alternatives in there. But if so, let's go ahead and take it to the ground. Okay, so today you're going to be doing some eccentric work for the hamstrings. So you're going to start on your back. Okay, from here, I want you to make sure that that low back is flush, driving that belly button into the ground, making sure that low back, the entire low back, is touching the ground. Okay, it's not extended off. Then you're going to slide your heels in. Come up for a glute bridge, slide out nice and slow for 3 seconds, meet yourself back on the ground, slide in. You're just going to be working those eccentrics. You're just working that out direction instead of coming in. So 10 reps. We're going to continue that 10 rep theme. Really trying to work that end range and then drop those hips. If you do not have a towel, just come up to that top position and slowly walk those heels all the way out and then drop the hips and same thing, meet yourself back in. Okay, 10 reps. Let's get to that top position first and then start to slide nice and slow out. Last one. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and flip back over. Now you're going to be face down on your stomach. Toes are going to be on the towel, and we're going to be getting into a pike position. If I had to demonstrate a pike position without doing it, I would say this would be the position you want to end up in. Okay, so you really want to focus on driving your feet toward your hands and then back. So you're giving that floor a nice clean. And you're meeting in that push-up position. If you do not have a towel, let's just try to get as extended as possible and then back to that push-up position. Remember, we're doing 10 reps. 10 reps total. Once you finish 10, we're back on to those hamstrings. So this whole series right now will be on the ground. You only concentrate on 2 different movements. Those eccentric hamstring curls. So, what are my arms doing? They're driving into the ground. You can also extend your arms completely to where your hands are pressing into the ground. Totally up to you. Just make sure that that low back, okay, is flush before you even start that glute bridge. Beautiful. Fantastic. All right. So 2 rounds done. Let's get into that 3rd set here. Wherever you're at, don't worry if I finish before you. I will give you some time. Remember, we want to continue to drive off our heels, not the entire foot, on these hamstring curls. Make sure that you're really getting to a range that's comfortable when you're going out. Don't try to strain as far as you can. Just make sure you're getting to somewhere that's comfortable, trying to drive those hips as high as you can the entire time. Remember, 10 reps. 8, 9, and 10. Fantastic. Good. All right. Last movement here for the pike. Let's end strong. By now that floor should be nice and slick. Eight, 9, 10. Beautiful. All right. Don't wipe yourself off with the towel that you just used, because I almost just did it. We're going to end with some Tabata. Obviously, we just worked on a little bit more volume with the lunges, some stability with the pull through, so shoulders should be ready to go. Also with the pikes, getting that overhead position. Now we're going to put all of that to the test and get back to our roots. We're going to do Tabata style or energy system development. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. You're going to be doing squat push-up, going back and forth between as many squats as you can do in 20 seconds, 10 seconds of rest, and you're going to be doing as many push-ups as you can do in 20 seconds, and then 10 seconds of rest, flipping back and forth. Remember, 4 rounds of each, 8 rounds total. So a lot of work there, okay? So pace yourself. Make sure you set the tone early. I would recommend going a little harder at first and then letting off as you get more tired. Don't start off slow and then you get done with the session and you feel like I had more in the tank, I could have done more. So let's get to work here. I'm gonna set this timer up. Should be able to hear it. Here we go. Squats first in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, you're just really just trying to set the tone. Doesn't have to be out of control. Beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna get into that push-up. With the push-up, don't worry about so much the reps as the quality,
3,
okay?
2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, rest.
Back on our feet. Whew, that felt like a long 20 seconds.
3,
Here we go.
2, 1,
Let's go.
go.
20 squats if you can. Okay, one squat for a second.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Very nice. I think I only got 14. I gotta pick up the pace, I think. Here we go, push-ups.
3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, rest.
If you ever feel like you need to go to your knees, no big deal on the push-ups. Or
3,
if you just want to hold that push-up
1,
position,
go.
you can too. Remember, all this at your own pace, own level.
Three, 2, 1, rest.
Shake it out. Push-up position.
3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, rest.
Very nice. We're getting down to our last round here. Last round of squats, last round of push-ups.
3,
Let's finish strong.
1, go. 3, 2, 1, rest.
All right. Last round of push-ups. Let's go. Let's finish strong.
3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, rest.
Woo! Very nice. Good job, team. Fantastic.
3, 2, 1, done.
Done. That's right. We are done. Good job. Tabata, squat, and push-up. Not easy. Okay, not easy. Go ahead and continue to move. Let's stand up. Okay, let's not just sit and wear that. Let's move a little bit. Try to get that heart rate down slowly just by walking back and forth. Obviously, I'm going to face the camera. And I'm going to talk a little bit while you guys are still here. Yeah, with those time sets like that, just like Tabata, if I were to ask you, how many squats did you do or how many push-ups did you do? That's a hard answer to give. You're just trying to go as long as the clock says go and stop, right? So you probably accomplish a lot more there than you would if you were to do something like 3x10 or 4x12, okay? So you're really just trying to look for that, just letting your mind go and getting that volume in. Of course, there's a time and place for sets and reps, but here, I think it's a good idea. We can spike that heart rate up, still tax some of that energy system, what we're trying to do, and you get a lot out of it. So Yeah, just a great way to kind of play with work and rest. You can do that as well at home anytime. We also do a lot of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And you can just play with the time and the rest, and you'll notice that you'll get a lot of volume in, especially if you don't have any weights, you just have your body. So we're going to do some regeneration, trying to get the heart rate down. We're going to work on some ranges. If you've done some of my classes before, we're going to work on always the hips, okay, and then probably some spine to finish, and then we're going to just end with that nice breathing rhythm and try to get that nervous system to calm down. And then you guys are going to set the tone for the rest of your day. You guys are going to have a great Thursday, as will I. Always grateful to be able to move with you. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's bake it down to the ground, okay, wherever that may be. If you're sweaty like me, awesome. Let that sweat fall. And then all we're going to do is go ahead and straighten that leg, one of the legs, left or right. In this instance, my left. Cross over, okay, with that opposite leg over that knee. Okay, and then I want you to sit up nice and tall with your torso, and you're just going to rotate over that nice old stretch. I don't know, growing up, we always used to sit down, touch our toes. That was our warm-up. This is a great one to do. Post lifts, get a little bit better results out of it. We're just going to do, again, 3 each side. Big stretch. Get that reach. Again, we want to make sure we're zipping up nice and tall with the torso and not rounding. And then making sure, again, we're getting to a range that's safe and not just trying to work on trying to crack that spine, right? So 3 each way. And then all you're going to do, draw those feet in. Yep, nice butterfly. Just go ahead and flap. You can rock back and forth. You can drive those knees down. Okay, then you're just going to spread it out to this middle splits position. Okay, I want you to start on one side. Okay, and then slowly walk your hands to the other side. Okay, going back and forth. Again, 3 times each, 6 total. Now, if you heard me when we first started, I told you that I used to do the static stretching when I was younger at the beginning, maybe like Little League or so. Even in college, we did more static stretching. But it's better if you start more dynamic at the beginning and then end with some static, especially you're nice and hot, you're loose. You can get to those ranges a lot easier and your session will be a lot safer. Okay, if you're not trying to strain and stretch, you can even hurt and damage doing that at the beginning. So in this middle splits position, take those hands, okay, reach them back as far as you can. We're going to open up the chest. And then I want you just to crawl back with those hands as far as you can, and then you're just going to try to meet your hands together, okay, if you can, and then drive that chest up, really trying to open up that pec, shoulders. You even draw that head straight to the sky. And then you can walk your hands straight up. And again, we're going to do this for 3 different reps. Okay. Last one. Very nice. Once you finish 3, we're going into tall kneeling. You're basically going to get into child's pose, okay? But we're going to first stretch the lats, okay? And then we're going to breathe a little bit down here. So we're going to take a big inhale. We're going to try to work on filling up the belly once we're down. Try to hold if you can. If not, just try to let out a nice slow exhale. Breathing is the most important. Just do it as normal as you can. Through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth. obviously. But first, let's get that big lat stretch in. Really trying to open up. You can drive one arm up. Okay, so one arm could be on the ground. Opposite arm can drive up if you want at the bottom. Really just trying to get some length. Again, 3 different stretches. Once you're done, okay, we're gonna start that breathing. We're gonna try it for 5, okay, 5 big breaths. That's all I ask. I know it can be tough sometimes to sit down and just breathe, but it's definitely necessary and it will benefit you greatly as you go throughout your day. As you go from session to session, if you could just take that time to kind of calm that stress down, okay? I know it's not the complete cure, but it definitely adds to it, okay? So let's go ahead and rest that forehead on the ground. Try to fill up that gut. You're trying to go in that horizontal angle. Big breath in. Slow exhale. Very nice. Couple more seconds. Once you finish 5 big breaths, pick that head up nice and slow. Get that space. If you want to just continue to breathe, you can. Always a big mahalo from me and a big thank you. Love to show my gratitude to continue to move with you, to coach you through these live sessions. Something I've been thinking about, I mentioned this to the mobility class. If you do happen to have some dumbbells now, or a kettlebell, or even a barbell, let's try to make sure that we have the ranges in our hips, ankles, knees, shoulders, spine first before we really try to pound, load, and don't try to force the range with the load. I'll give you an example. If you have a kettlebell that's somewhat heavy and it's kind of forcing you into that bottom position of the squat, I'd rather you be able to attain that full range squat without the weight first, and then try it with some load. Okay, so take it slow, work the ranges accordingly. Always grateful if you want to shout out some comments or some questions. Would love to help. But other than that, hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you next week. Always a big thank you. See you next time.